What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of A Dude to Dad and episode 3 of our getting gear ready for this new snow season. Today, we're waxing. Alright, there's a lot of different information out there. I am riding a sintered base, not an extruded base. With an extruded base, I don't think you have to wax that much. With a sintered base, opinions differ, but it seems like every 1 to maybe 5 rides. Now, in my resort right here in southern Utah, Bryan Head, that could be 20 to 30 bucks a time I drop it off and get that done. If that has to be done every single ride and you're riding 70 to 90 times a year, that gets expensive. So I invested in myself, spent about 200 bucks on some gear that you guys see here. We bought a tuning kit, some brass brushes, base cleaner, and some wax. We're gonna start with this fresh, brand new LibTech Skunk Ape camber. We are going to peel this sticker here. I'll show you guys why I'm doing this. It's a brand new board. You shouldn't probably have to wax it, but I did get this board at the end of last season. It's been sitting here. I've heard that this stuff dries and dissipates, so we are just going to give this thing a brushing, get it all clean, and give her a fresh wax. Show you guys, see if we could do it. If we could do it, you guys could do it. So you guys can see here, after I got these stickers peeled off, it leaves something weird in the base, especially the 1-ball one. We are going to start this with a brass brush, and I'm going to flip this thing around because I want to brush it nose to tail. And being right-handed and on this side. Let's go. So what I'm doing here is I'm kind of brushing out any wax that got left from when they did it at the factory, any dirt, contaminants that got on here from my fingers or anything handling it for this whole year. You guys can see this dust here. Go ahead and wipe off all that dust. I feel a difference in the paper towel where the sticker came off. Okay, so the wax we have is the 1-ball Cool Universal. Does not give an iron temperature on the wax. We had to look online right here where you see 132 C. This Dakine iron is also labeled in C. So this thing plugged in, set to temp. Okay, we'll let that iron warm up. Our board is room temperature. We got our wax open. Our iron's warming up. Whew, shoot, she's already running off the iron. All right, our iron is to temp. So the goal here is for the wax to melt on the iron but not smoke. And at 132, it seems like it's doing that. So we're gonna start dripping it on here. Kind of make an extra run along the rail. A little thicker on the edges. Start over here, kind of fill in the field. And if my edges, I missed any spots, kind of put a little more on there. Trying not to stay in any one spot too long. If it doesn't all melt when I get there, I'll get it on the next pass. I'm gonna keep trying to feel the bottom, the top sheet of this, and make sure that this core isn't getting saturated with heat. This is a brand new board, so the rails, the edges are really good. But if you had a board that was a little older, had taken some rock gouges in the rails, You would want to hit that with a gum stone or something and get them soft before you rub your iron on them, because your iron would rub across them and scratch, and then it would do weird things, I think. Okay, I think the base is completely covered now in a melted glossy wax. So now I'm going to slowly move this iron from nose to tail. The back is going to be left glossy, and I'm hoping for like 6-8 inches, maybe a foot, staying glossy behind me as I'm moving, which will now push it into the base, get it all kind of uniform temperature and uniform consistency before we start scraping. I'm gonna come over here, and instead of going on that side of the board, we're going on this side of the board this time to let that side cool. One more thing is you really want to have your bindings off when you do this, because your bindings, those 4 screw, well, whatever style bindings you have, they pull the base in and give it a dimple. It'd be hard to scrape the wax out of that. All right, that's a lot. I think I could get away with using a lot less next time. Look at this. All right. We're gonna let that dry completely. We're gonna give it probably a half hour. Board's a little warm. Yeah, we're gonna let it all cool, all get bonded together or whatever it does, and we'll come back, get to scraping. All right, it's been over a half hour. Thing is room temperature to touch. It's time to start scraping. Make sure this scraper is nice and sharpened. Make sure you sharpen it both ways so you don't end up turning it into a frowny or smiley face. I'm going to hold this thing with my thumbs behind, fingers in front, and I'm going to push. There we go. Now we're getting some pulls on her. Before I start going to town on this, I get this other scraper out. You guys can see that edge. See that notch? Well, get the wax off of the edges first before I start really going to town. This board's brand new, so it doesn't matter so much about having wax on the edges or not, but when the board's been used a few times, you put the wax on the edges, you can actually trap moisture in between the wax and the edge, and it will rust underneath it. So scrape, scrape, scrape. Scrape it all off. Start the time lapse. Getting close, getting close. Be afraid to sharpen that scraper a few times during this. Look at that. Ooh, getting hot. Should work. Okay, I don't know how much more I'm going to get with that. Hit it with a clean paper towel here. Make sure it feels smooth, no resistance all the way down. Brass brush. I think this one's a little stiffer than that bigger one I was using earlier. Give me a thick spot right here, revealing itself with the brush. See the white strip. There it is. Last but not least, a little horsehair. It's probably not recommended to do this on extruded bases, but because this is a sintered, let's finish it off with the horsehair. She is ready. All right, that does it. She's waxed. Waxed and pretty. Polished. Sticker marks gone. Fresh coat. Thank you guys for watching this episode of A Doodadad. If I could do it, you could do it. Let's keep those boards running good. See you guys on the next one.